was during that second interview at Rush Memorial Presbyterian Hospital. I'm sitting in a mahogany office with an older gentleman who's the hospital administrator in a three-piece suit, and he says, Tim, if I were starting my career over again, I'd be considering long-term care. I thought that was interesting, so I took a job as a part-time orderly on a 3 to 11 shift in a local nursing home. And on my third day, I sat in their dining room after serving a meal with them, and I said, I think I could make a difference. By the time I was 29, I was overseeing a third of a publicly traded company called Manor Healthcare. A number of companies started asking me if I would consider joining their board. One of those boards was based in Massachusetts, decided to have their winter board meeting in February in Vero Beach. We decided just to move down here because we love the town. One of the boards I served on was CNL, which is a large real estate investment trust. CNL was involved in senior housing and owning the real estate of senior housing. And eventually I met a young man there who was a consultant to CNL. He said, I know a property in Vero Beach that I think would be great for an independent living community, and it's the one we're sitting in right now, Regency Park. That was the genesis of starting the company of HRA. Then CNL said, we'd love to have you guys function as our operating bench. So when we buy properties that don't have an operator, we can rely on you to be the operator, and we did. And we differentiate ourselves by becoming hospitality oriented. There's a real estate. They'll promote themselves by the size of their apartments. Some people have got into this business as an extension of the nursing home industry, so they talk about their clinical expertise. We always felt like our customers expect us to be clinically competent. Indeed, we are. Our team of leaders have a remarkable track record.
I started in the industry at age 22. I watched how things had been done. I had experienced it. And most companies ran the same way. They ran by telling their prospective residents and their family members that we are going to take good physical care of you. What we have done at Harbor Retirement Associates, though, is we disrupted that. We don't stop with care. And quite honestly, we don't lead with care. At HRA, 10 years ago, we decided to throw away all of our drawings, and we were going to build a community with a hospitality approach. We're going to continue to give that exceptional care beyond expectations. But in addition to that, we were going to offer our residents choice in where they dined and how they dined, choice in the programs that they would attend that would keep them engaged. We were going to offer all of that in our communities. And we have been very successful in rebranding some of our existing communities that were already a part of the portfolio and in developing over 20 new communities that would lead with hospitality. And they would lead with multiple restaurants to dine in. And they would lead with choice.
One of the things that really drew me to HRA was realizing that Harbor Retirement Associates didn't want to be a senior living company. They wanted to be a hospitality company serving seniors. I would have this opportunity to basically take a blank slate and build it from the ground up. The great thing for me, being a chef by trade, is that I'm in a position where I can build platforms and create concepts that are very attractive to culinarians. I look to clubs, I look to hotels, I look to resorts and restaurants to where we can continue to bring in culinary excellence. The formula is to rely on talent and give them the autonomy in a lot of ways to utilize that talent for their community and be unique to that building, and expanding our platform to not only appeal to just our residents, but to appeal to residents' families and friends.
Dining is no small part of the feature of anybody's day, and breaking bread together is an intimate thing with friends and associates, so we spend a lot of time and money on making that a special part of the day. But also there's many other experiences we have to make this time here some of the best times in people's lives.
What makes Harbor Chase really exceptional as compared to some of the other operators out there is that we're not really an assisted living company. We're a hospitality company that caters to seniors. And really that is the focus. That's what we do. We actually have operationalized a resort mentality and a resort environment for seniors to live in. A big piece of what makes us successful is our focus on delivering what we sell. One of the things that's a key focus for us is the relationships we build with the people that are coming to move in with us. By building that relationship with them, by building that trust with them, we're able to let them know that, hey, we want to help you be able to maintain everything that you want and everything that you have in your life, an environment that's safe and supportive. We're not for everybody, and if somebody is looking for the best deal, we're not going to be the least expensive. We're going to hold true to what we do, and we're going to deliver a product, and we're going to fulfill our promises. It's what we do here at Harbor Chase. Our associates, from the executive director to the dishwasher to the med tech to the nurse, anybody who's part of our community understands what it means to be a servant. And serving is the most noble thing that any of us can do. Being able to do it with the sort of hospitality and the sort of ambiance and elegance that we're able to do it is really a pleasure and really a joy for me.
We have no doubt in our mind that the secret to our success is the competency of our associates and what they do day in and day out. We have associates who buy into and support our corporate culture and our core values and operate that way. You treat people with respect. That isn't just treating our residents with respect, that's treating one another with respect. Attentiveness, to be able to think through and anticipate what somebody's desires and wants are and know how to fill them beyond their expectations. Being a good steward and being wise about how you use the resources that you govern is a really important part. Integrity, doing the right things for the right reasons. And then ultimately, what is your standard? Is it excellence or is it something less than excellence? If those things become reflexive, then you're going to be successful. But that doesn't happen just because you will it. You have to really work hard at it. And doing that day in and day out, that is the key to our success. We know that, and so it's really important. I see our business continuing to grow, but grow in a measured way. Why do I say measured? This is a complicated business. This is a labor-intensive business. This is laying on hands, thousands and thousands of exchanges each day, and doing that well and doing that with compassion. That takes a culture. And that takes a strong culture, a culture that's based on core values that are meaningful, that people embrace. When I go to a community and visit our community, I am so energized by seeing it in action. I leave there with a bounce in my step because it's happening and people are making a difference in people's lives.